the good picture.
The Muscatine City Council will come to order. I'll begin tonight, ladies and gentlemen, with the roll call. Fran?
Councilmembers Lorette.
Present.
Fitzgerald.
Present.
Atfick.
Present.
Shahade.
Present.
Bynum.
Present.
Phillips.
Present.
Fred.
Present.
All present, Your Honor.
Thank you, Fran. Folks, would you stand and join me in a pledge of allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, thank you and good evening, everyone. It's been a while since we've had this many people in council chambers. It's refreshing to see that. Item number 4 on tonight's agenda is communications from citizens. If there's anyone in council chambers tonight that would like to discuss an issue with the council that is not included on tonight's agenda, now is the time to come forward. And Greg, I think Mr. Curry's name is in this category, but you wanted to make a clarification of procedure first?
Certainly, Your Honor. Real quick, Mr. Curry received a junk and junk vehicle notice for multiple junk and junk vehicles on his property. Tonight's appeal has to do with one vehicle, and that is a Chevy Camaro that was found on the property and found in violation of the city's junk vehicle ordinance. The issue is whether or not a nuisance existed at the time the notice was issued. Not today, not yesterday, but whether a violation existed at the time the notice was issued. And it's up to the council tonight to either affirm or deny whether that nuisance existed at the time the notice was issued. However, based on what I hear from or understand from staff, Mr. Curry has complied with the order, and the vehicle is no longer in violation of the city's ordinance. It's really a moot point at this point in time. No further city action is required. However, of course, Mr. Curry is here tonight and is certainly welcome to speak based on the appeal.
Okay, Mr. Curry or council, please step up to the podium, sir. Give us your name and your address, please.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, my name is Chris Searles. I'm one of the attorneys at the law firm of Norton, Bauman and Searles up in Loudon, and we're here tonight representing Mr. Curry. This is my first appearance before the council. I had an opportunity to meet some of you ahead of time. Our business office is, of course, in Loudon. I personally reside in Mount Vernon, and I can give you either address. It doesn't matter. Our business address is just 504 Main Street. Okay, thank you. No, what I was saying is we were not aware that the city was considering this issue as being resolved. And so I guess I don't know what to say about that. If the city is not taking any further action, then I guess I would agree with the city administrator that our appeal is moot at this point.
Correct. Our understanding from city staff and taking a look is that Mr. Curry has licensed the vehicle, put a license plate on the vehicle, cleaned up the weeds, reinstalled the dash, and whatever else is required to comply with the city's nuisance ordinance. The appeal only dealt with this one vehicle on the property, did not address any of the other vehicles or junk on the property. The appeal was based on this one issue. It's my understanding it's been addressed.
And I would agree with the administrator about this appeal being strictly on the one vehicle, the Camaro. However, we would argue the point that there was additional issues, specific issues raised in that notice of violation for which we're not appealing. Our position would be that that was the only item specifically mentioned at the time, and that was what we appealed on. Had there been more items specifically mentioned, we would have appealed on all of them, but that was the only one that was mentioned when the inspectors were on the location.
Would you accept questions, sir, from council?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't have a question. I have just a comment to make. If the issue is moot, we have a long agenda, let's move on, period. I don't know what the rest of the council feel about it, but why waste time, Let's move on.
A motion, I'll second it.
That's a motion, if you want it as a motion.
There's no action on this issue, so thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else in council chambers care to discuss an issue with council that's not included on tonight's agenda? Very good, we'll move on. Item 5, consent agenda. The following items are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes items 6A through B, items 8A through H, item 9A, filing of communications 12A through C, and tonight's bills totaling $664,236.74.
Mayor, I'd move the approval, but I also request that we pull item H for separate consideration. 8H, I should say.
Okay, and we can do that, Phil. So we are pulling item 8H, which is a request to approve use of city property for MDA boot drive per City Code 5-16-3 on July 25th through the 28th, 2013, during College Search Soccer Tournament. We're pulling that from the consent agenda. So let's move forward on the consent agenda.
A second.
Second.
Right, oh, he made the motion.
I made
Need
the
a second? Tom, okay. Any discussion, council? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. Now we'll go down to item 8H, and that would read, there is a request to approve the use of city property for the Muscular Dystrophy Association boot drive per city code 5-16-3 on July 25th through the 28th, 2013, during the College Search Soccer Tournament. Is there a motion to approve that request?
So move, Your Honor.
Bob, and a second?
Second.
Second, Tom. Discussion, council.
I have a real concern with, I like the idea that the boot drive would not be on city streets. I applaud the firefighters union for coming up with another alternative. I do have a problem with the use of the soccer complex during an event that is paid for by an outside group, and they're coming here to use that soccer complex for 4 days. There's a lot of people involved. I realize there'd be a lot of people around there, but I think it's infringing upon their group using the facility by having the firefighters there with their boot drive. So, if they use the facility and it was a local group that was using and paying for the facility that weekend or that day, that I'd have a less problem with it. This has a possibility that this particular event coordinator has agreed supposedly that it's fine, but who's to say that event coordinator might just pack up all 96 teams and move them to Des Moines next year, and we don't have that event in town here. So look out what you ask for. That's all I gotta say.
Your Honor, I'd like to have a few seconds here. In our code, our business regulations, Title 5, Chapter 16, Sales on City Property, it states local civic service, educational, health, welfare, and similar related organizations may sell merchandise or solicit on city-owned property upon approval by whom? The city council. We've got to approve it. No one else can. The MDA drive normally has roughly last year was $14,000. Every last penny of that donation stays local. We have individuals in Muscatine that need that money, need it in the worst way, need every penny that we can, that they can collect. They meaning the union of the firefighters asked to be on the street. I'll be honest with you, this same regulation covers solicitation for worthy causes. It says on city-owned property, city streets are also considered city property. Why can't they have a minimum of what they asked for previously? But they were denied. In fact, there was a compromise, and this was a compromise. I'd like to go back from the compromise. I'd like to see them on the streets where they can pick up the money, the donations. Safety is not an issue. I don't know of any issue. In fact, if this doesn't get approved, I'd like to have a interpretation by the city attorney of Title 5:16(3) of who qualifies. Doesn't the MDA boot drive that's been collecting money for the last 20 years plus and been very successful? I haven't heard of one citizen in Muscatine that has said no to the MDA boot drive. Not one. You're asking about safety. Are these guys safe? Have they ever had an accident? No, they have not had any accidents. No safety-related issues. In fact, you're looking at an agency that thrives on safety, and I've watched, I've dealt, I've noticed, hey, if there's something unsafe happening, it's not with these people whatsoever. I'd like to put in the hands of the city council this boot drive being part on city streets and not on, at this time, this soccer event. I'd like to move, Your Honor, that we change that motion from being at the soccer complex to be city streets. Thank you, Your Honor.
I think in all fairness, I'd like to hear from all council. Their opinion. We have a pro and we have a con.
Thank you.
And let's begin with Tom, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I've had an opportunity to talk to the president of the firefighters union about this, at least in short order. I'm fully supportive of the effort to collect funds for the MDA folks. In my mind, they struck a compromise. The firefighters union is asking permission to do this at the soccer complex. They get their wish. I support that.
Yannette?
I agree with Tom. I think we should support what they compromised on. Bob didn't get any complaints, but I have in the past received a complaint or two about the boot drive on the streets. And so I would approve the compromise.
Osama?
Well, before I make my comments here, I would ask a question. What changed in 20 years that we are changing the rules now? Are we breaking the law or a policy or ordinance for them to change from being on the street to go to the soccer complex? And I'd just like to remind everybody, the soccer complex, it's city property. So what changed? Why? Greg, you can answer that?
Sure.
All right.
We've been discussing this for about 3 years now.
All right.
And last year was to be the last year that the boot drive was going to be on the streets. There are additional issues beyond the chapter that was cited by Councilman Bynum. There are multiple issues, in fact, regarding city code and state code violations, criminal code violations, which city council cannot waive. City council can address the specific ordinance that Councilman Bynum mentioned and allow it on city property. There are specific ordinances, Iowa Code 321, City Code 7-9, Iowa Code 321, 331, 321.151, 717-1 of the City Code. There's multiple ordinances that do not allow for this on the streets. In my mind, there is a safety issue, but, at the same time, this is, everybody agrees that, at least in my opinion, everybody agrees that the The boot drive itself is a great thing. It goes to local folks in need of assistance. It's a good thing. The issue is the methodology in the city street. There is no difference between what they're asking to do in the city streets and, for example, panhandling. Panhandling is the same exact issue that I've been asked to enforce by the city council on numerous occasions. Park Avenue, over by Hy-Vee, and on numerous occasions. As soon as that individual steps out in the street and interferes with traffic, it is a violation, and it can be cited by the police department. Now, historically, we haven't done that, and there are other communities that have not done that as well. There are plenty of communities that have stopped doing it: Davenport, Bettendorf, Fort Dodge. I can go on a list of those that have and those that have not, but there are specific state and local codes that prohibit going into the street to solicit. It's the same thing as panhandling. And if I'm being asked to enforce panhandling, I don't believe I should be, I don't see how we can enforce or be asked to support this particular activity in the streets. 2 years ago, I believe it was, Senior Resources asked to do the exact same thing in the right-of-way in the streets. The council approved that. After that was done, we said, no, this is not appropriate. Those folks should not be in the streets. It's the same thing. Those are the basic issues from my perspective. Safety issue, it is part of the criminal code. However, we do have a specific ordinance that allows it on public property, city property in the city. This is a good compromise that allows them to try the soccer complex, see if it works. There's plenty of other opportunities that we discussed as a group to take advantage of it, or to raise funds within the city. Plenty of other organizations within the city raise funds without doing it out in the street.
Well, two issues with this here. Number one here, and I am speaking from experience, I do not believe that they're going to generate the same amount being in the soccer complex here. I don't even think they're going to generate 10%. However, the soccer community, local and the visitors, they come, they are generous people here, and I know this is a worldwide drive, but I don't think they're going to generate that. So we're going to hammer that account from, I don't know what kind of level they get each year for that drive. I heard $14,000 probably, and that stays local. And I don't think they're going to achieve near that if they went down to the soccer complex myself here. I'm in full support of the drive, and I think based on history for 20 years with no issues for safety or any other complex with that drive, I don't see a problem myself, but that's my opinion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Scott?
Mayor, I think we've been headed towards this compromise for a couple of years, and the firefighters have have looked into alternatives, and so we've arrived at this one, and I would support it. I do think there's still a potential public safety issue here. We've been fortunate we haven't had any, but in my mind, it's there, so I would support the compromise.
Okay.
Just have one other comment to
Okay,
make, was
Bill?
dealing with CVB funding. The council has made an effort to alter the CVB funding, taking from the library, the hotel motel tax, using this money then to fund the CVB. And I think when you put this into the soccer complex with an outside event coordinator, I think you're putting your money at risk. I really do. Well, Sama says they're very, very gracious people and they'll contribute, but when the event coordinator has 50 to 100 people that are attending, complaining about the people collecting at the door, so to speak, they'll move it elsewhere. They really will. So that's all I'm going to say.
Mark?
Really, what I'd like to hear more, and I don't know if there's someone here that can answer the question, but I'd like to understand a little of the details of, it just says, use city property parking lot area, but how do they propose to use the parking lot? Are they going to be in the middle of the parking lot like they would the city streets? Are they going to be on the what I call the fringe of the grass. They're asking people as they head to the fields and coming back from the fields, do they have a plan
our
for how
typical-
they're going to approach that?
Sure. Our typical process is to have the, whoever it might be, whether it be a vendor or in this case, the union, is to work with the event sponsor. For example, like Great River Days.
Yep.
Once Great River Days is approved with the city council, and then those that want to work with or cooperate with the event go directly to the event. So they would coordinate with the event sponsor to see where they want it to be located on site and so on and so forth. The event sponsor is not in favor of doing it at the entrance of the complex. Traffic issues, you already have traffic issues during an event like this. Most likely be at or near the pedestrian gate, somewhere around the pedestrian entrance. But that would be worked out, those details would be worked out with the event sponsor.
So they will be coordinating with the event director on this?
With the, either through Park and Recs or directly with the event sponsor.
Okay. That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay. Darren, are you the spokesman for the group? If you have any comments, I'd be happy to give you 3 minutes. That's only fair.
Darren Brook, I'm president of the Muscatine Firefighters Local 608. Appreciate the opportunity to come up and just give you our perspective of this. As Bob had kind of alluded, that for over 20 years now, we have done the Muscatine or the MDA boot drive on the streets, raising anywhere from between $10,000 and $14,000 a year. History shows that any group that's been taken off the street, any of the firefighter unions taken off the street to do fundraising on private property, any other facilities, can make about 10% of what they usually do. The funds that we gain stay locally. Like Bob had said, it's used for our people. We've got approximately 20 people or 20 families in the area here that use that $14,000 a year that we raise.
Good question, Darren. Does all of that money that you folks collect stay local?
Every dime of it.
Okay.
There is nothing that goes out. It doesn't go to Jerry Lewis's telethon out there in Las Vegas. It stays here locally. It's used for our folks like we've got here tonight that are our MDA people. And they use that to go to camps. Maddie, where are you, Maddie? Maddie's our gal from this area. She went to Camp Courageous on funding that we raised to send her there. I don't see that we can send anybody when we raise $1,400, $1,500, even $3,000. We won't have that. We'd love to be on the streets doing it. We are a group that is constantly concerned about safety. We do all the banners that are needed out there to alert people. We wear the vests, the bright shirts. Last year we asked for council to, out on Park Avenue and Lake Park Boulevard, to set the stoplights to flashing so that everybody could stop. The intersection up at Cedar and 8th Street is a four-way stop. Everybody must stop. We don't make people give. People that want to give, they're very generous. And I'll tell you, Muscatine has got a very generous group of people that love to give to our organizations. You know, we've kind of come up with a compromise. Again, I wish we could be on the street, but Greg had suggested that we try this for a compromise. And, you know, talking to the union membership, we wanted to, you know, show our good faith, and we were going to try this as a compromise to see what we could do. Appreciate the opportunity to speak on this tonight, and hopefully that council will approve our, you know, request to do it on the soccer complex.
Very good. Anyone have a question for Mr. Brooks?
I would just make another comment here. I just sound like I'm going to repeat myself, but to jeopardize one event, you're going to jeopardize the other one that is going to take place at the soccer complex. That's my opinion, I think. So it's something that somebody needs to think about it here for a future event that's going to take place at the soccer complex.
What is the date of the soccer tournament?
I'm sorry.
The date of the soccer tournament? What are the dates of the soccer?
I believe it's July 25th through the 28th.
Why don't you just do it during Great River Days?
Very good. Thank you, Darren.
I had a question.
We have a question?
Darren, I went to the MDA thing at the station a couple years back, and I was surprised by the number of people that are affected by it in the area, by MDA in one form or another. Wasn't it like over 100 or something in the region?
Yeah. Brett, can you kind of give us some figures on?
Yeah, I know we're from the Cedar Rapids office, and in eastern Iowa, there are.
You'll have to step up to the microphone, sir. It's a matter of record.
My name is Brett Dowson. I work for the Muscular Dystrophy Association out of the Cedar Rapids office, and I know that our office, we cover over 125 different patients with some form of muscular dystrophy. And like he had said multiple times before, the money that you raise does stay local. It doesn't go off to somebody in, way northern Iowa that you've never met. It does stay local. It helps the families that you know, the families that you see in Hy-Vee every weekend. It goes to the families that you know and that really do need it.
Okay. I believe that's a little over 3, Darren, so thank you
Thank
so
you very much.
Appreciate it. Well, council, I think it's time to create that scorecard. We have a motion, and I'll read it again. There is a request to approve use of city property for MDA Boot Drive per City Code 5-16-3 on July 25th through the 28th, 2013 during the College Search Soccer Tournament. Councilman Bynum made that motion, seconded by Councilman Spread. However, in the discussion, Councilman Bynum, you made a motion to amend this motion.
Absolutely.
Okay, is there a second?
I second.
And we've already had discussion, so all those in favor of the amendment, and Fran, are you on top of that?
I think I'm going to ask for a roll call,
Yes, I plan to.
please.
Okay. Okay. And this would be a roll call vote beginning with Councilman Bynum,
Aye.
Councilman Shahade,
Aye.
Scott,
Nay.
Bill,
Nay.
Mark,
Nay.
Tom,
Nay?
and Jeanette.
Nay.
I believe that's 5-2, and back, opposed, and back to the original motion made by you. And again, there's a request to approve use of city property for the MDA boot drive. I won't read the whole thing. A motion by Bob, a second by Tom. We've had discussion, and this is a voice vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Motion carried 6-1. Okay. Item number 7, public hearing. This public hearing concerns the proposed laboratory annex project at the Water Pollution Control Plant. The current lab needs to be replaced to comply with safety standards and accommodate new testing equipment. The city has entered into a professional services agreement with Stanley Consultants for the plans, specifications, terms of contract, and cost estimates concerning this project. Prior to any formal action by City Council, a public hearing is required. Now is the time for the public to comment.
Move to close.
Move to close by Mark, and a second.
Second.
Second, Scott. No discussion needed. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. Okay, now down to item 10. Presented for City Council's consideration is a resolution setting a public hearing on the vacation of a utility easement in the Riverbend Second Edition. The property owner is requesting the vacation of existing utility easements along and between lots 9 and 10 in the addition to allow for the construction of a new residence. The Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously approved the request. Prior to any formal action by City Council, a public hearing is required. This hearing will take place on Thursday, August 1st, 2013 at 7 p.m. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
Jeanette? Second, anyone?
Second.
Osama. Discussion, council. This is a roll call vote, beginning with Jeanette.
Aye.
And Bob.
Aye.
Osama.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Phil.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
And Tom.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Item B, presented for city council's consideration is a resolution setting a public hearing on the vacation of a public right-of-way remnant in the city of Muscatine. Property owners who reside at 305 Burnside are requesting the sale and transfer of a 20-foot wide unimproved alley remnant located behind their home. The vacation of the remnant would allow for the construction of a dedicated a detached garage. Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously approved the request with the provision the entire unimproved alley remnant be sold to avoid leaving the city with any landlocked property. Prior to any formal action by City Council, a public hearing is required. This hearing will be held on Thursday, August 1st, 2013 at 7 p.m. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
Whoa, a whole bunch from my right here, and I heard Tom's voice over there. And I heard Bob's voice. You okay with a second, Bob? Okay, any discussion, council? Roll call, vote beginning with Tom.
Aye.
Jeanette?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Osama?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Phil?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Item 11 from the city administrator. Is there a motion, well, I guess I better read this first. Resolution approving the plans, specifications, form of contract, cost estimate, and setting the bid opening date for the Water Pollution Control Lab Annex project. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
Mark?
Second.
Second, Scott. Discussion, council. Roll call, beginning with Mark.
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Jeanette?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Osama?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
And Phil?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Item B, presented for city council's consideration is a resolution to rescind resolution 87315-0699 to authorize the use of the Park and Recreation Trust Fund for the Weed Park Playground Surface Repair Project. The Recreation Advisory Commission approved the proposal to rescind the previous resolution to allow for the use of the remaining funds in this trust for this project as budgeted. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So move.
Bob, and a second?
Second.
Second, Tom. Any discussion, council? Also a roll call, beginning with Bob.
Aye.
Osama.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Phil.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
And Tom.
Aye.
Oh, and Jeanette.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Almost forgot you.
I'd have hollered.
Item C, pardon me, presented for city council's consideration is a resolution approving a grant agreement for security improvements at the Muscatine Municipal Airport. As part of the airport improvement projects, the city requested funding for the installation of a security gate, camera, and fencing at the south end of the newly constructed hangar access road, and funding to approve apron drainage around the T-hangars at the airport. The city was notified that funding had been approved for both projects under a single grant agreement. The city must now take action to approve the grant agreement with the State Department of Transportation for funding to be awarded. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Scott.
Second, Your Honor.
Second, Osama. Discussion, council. Roll call vote, beginning with Scott.
Aye.
Phil.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Tom.
Aye.
Jeanette.
Aye.
Bob.
Aye.
And Osama.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Item D, presented for city council's consideration is a resolution approving the grant agreement for T-hanger apron drainage improvements at the Muscatine Municipal Airport. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So move.
Bob?
Second.
Second, Jeanette. Discussion? Beginning with Bob, roll call vote.
Aye.
Osama?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Phil?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
And Jeanette?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Item E, presented for city council's consideration is a resolution accepting improvements under the airport project obstruction removal trees. In August 2012, the contract for this project was awarded to Dickey Farms Excavating in the amount of $43,319.82. The project has been completed with one change order totaling $5,000 and a quantity adjustment of $3,974.22, bringing the total project cost to $52,294.04. The local match is $7,014.59. The project was found to be in compliance with the approved plans and specifications. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Osama, and a second.
Second.
Second, Scott. Discussion, council? Roll call beginning with Osama.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Phil.
Aye.
Mark.
Aye.
Tom.
Aye.
Jeanette.
Aye.
And Bob.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Item F, presented for city council's consideration is a resolution accepting easements for the West Hill Sewer Separation Project Phase 2. Temporary and permanent easements and other property acquisitions must be acquired by the city in order to complete this project. Negotiations to complete the easements have been conducted with the property owners. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved.
Mark? Second.
Second, Your Honor.
Second, Osama. Discussion, council? Beginning with Mark, a roll call.
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Jeanette?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Osama?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
And Phil?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Item G, presented for city council's consideration is a resolution authorizing the building official to proceed with specified work on premises located at 2003 Breeze Street. A visual inspection of the property resulted in a determination that the home is unfit for occupancy. It is staff's recommendation the home should be demolished, the site cleared, and the nuisance abated. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Tom, and a second?
Second.
Second, Scott. Any discussion?
Your Honor, I just kind of want to ask the question is, it says a visual inspection of the property. What did the building inspector find?
There was a report prepared by the housing inspector, but overall dilapidation of the building, settling, foundation cracking, roof sagging, walls falling in, unstable floors, a lot of debris inside, difficult to get around, odors, etc. General
Safety.
dilapidation.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Anyone else, council? Thanks, Steve. Roll call. Tom, you're on deck.
Aye.
Jeanette?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Osama?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Phil?
Aye.
And Mark?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Item H, presented for city council's consideration is a request to approve an agreement and/or land surveying services at the Muscatine Municipal Airport. Annually, the city enters into a professional services agreement with Anderson Bogart Engineers and Surveyors for many engineering and survey activities required as a condition of state and federal funding. Staff is requesting the agreement be approved in an amount not to exceed $23,307. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved.
Mark?
Second.
Second, Osama. Any discussion, council?
Just want to make a comment. I was on the Airport Advisory Commission for a number of years, and this group has been associated with the city for quite a number of years, and they are, in my opinion, very responsible, and also responsible for getting access to a lot of these grants and so forth. They help with the state grant we just approved. They've helped with all the federal grants, which some of them are as good as only a 5% local match. This last one, I think, is probably a 15% local match. So we are spending money at the airport, but local money is minimal, and it's partly because of these individuals. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I just agree with him. I would just agree with
Did
Phil.
you just
No, I don't
disagree with
I
him?
would just agree with him because they are knowledgeable and they know what the FAA is looking for, so that
Sounds like a good company to do business with.
Right.
This is a voice vote, council. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. Item I, presented for city council's consideration is a request to approve a professional services agreement for the park maintenance building. Staff is recommending the approval of a professional services agreement with Thomas McInerney Architect. How did I do, Rich? McInerney Architect, okay. In the amount of $19,900 for the design and engineering services for this project. There is $25,000 budgeted for this project. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Tom?
Second.
Second, Scott. Any discussion, council? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. Item J, presented for city council's consideration is a request to approve the purchase of a utility vehicle for golf maintenance. 4 bids were received with the lowest responsible bid from Precision Equipment Company for a John Deere TX Gator in an amount not to exceed $7,511.31. There is $9,000 budgeted for this purchase. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Scott is the motion, Phil is the second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. Item K, presented for city council's, consideration is a request to approve the purchase of a dump truck for the cemetery. 3 bids were received with the lowest responsible bid from Meinster Ford for an F-450 dump truck in an amount not to exceed $48,564. There is $54,000 budgeted for this purchase. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
That was Phil.
Second.
Second, Mark. Discussion, council? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. Item L, presented for city council's consideration is a request to approve the purchase of 2 blowers for Parks and Recreation. 2 bids were received with the lowest responsible bid from Van Wall Equipment Company for 2 Buffalo Turbine KB4 blowers at $5,995 each for a total of $11,990. There is $6,700 budgeted in the golf maintenance division, with the remaining amount budgeted equally in the park maintenance division and soccer division. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Tom, and a second.
Second.
Second, Scott. Any discussion, council?
I'm a little confused by the numbers here. What was the total amount budgeted for these blowers?
$13,400.
Okay, so it's under budget.
Yes.
Is that all, Mark?
Yep.
Anyone else? Okay, this is a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. Item M, presented for city council's consideration is a request to approve the purchase and installation of a Weed Park Rose Garden Playground Safety Surface. Bids were solicited with the low bid received from Bolin Recreation in an amount not to exceed $57,750. There is $60,000 budgeted for this project. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved.
I heard Jeanette first. Bob, you want the second?
Sure.
Okay, any discussion, council? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. Item N, presented for city council's consideration is a request to authorize the issuance of a purchase order for the repair of the Morgan Building. 2 bids were received with the lowest responsible bid from Silverhorn Concrete and Masonry LLC in the amount of $16,262.53. There is $20,000 budgeted for this project. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved, Your Honor.
Bill? Second, Scott? Discussion, council?
I just had a quick question. What's the building being used for right now?
Rich? We have a question for you?
Public Works?
Andy.
Or Randy?
Randy.
I'm sorry.
Question was what? The question?
What's the building being used for right now?
We store most of our equipment in there, and then as the seasons change, we rotate things out. So right now, all of our snow plows and salt boxes and things are in there, motor grader, things of that sort. And then as winter comes, then our summer stuff goes, is stored in that building.
While you're up there, Randy, another question here. Do you foresee any other repairs down the road for that building?
The one thing that you're going to see in the next couple of years is we'd like to insulate it, and then the ceiling was old drywall, and it's all the years of all those big trucks in there, it's all starting to fall down. So you're going to see that in the next couple of years of, I'd like to try to get it insulated and then a new ceiling put on it. Other than that, the building's in really pretty good shape.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Randy. Vote, folks. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. Item O, presented for City Council's consideration is a request to authorize the issuance of a purchase order for a dump truck chassis. 3 bids were received, with a low bid coming from Quad City Peterbilt in the amount of $67,968 for a 36,200-pound gross vehicle weight truck chassis. There is $81,000 budgeted for this purchase. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
Some of them.
Osama.
Second.
Second, Scott. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Carried 7-0. Item P, presented for City Council's consideration is a request to authorize the issuance of a purchase order for roadway maintenance equipment. 3 bids were received for a dump body, salt spreader, and two-way plow with the low bid from Henderson Manufacturing in the amount of $56,585. There is $68,000 budgeted for this purchase. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
Some of them.
Osama?
Second.
Second, Mark, was that you?
Yep.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. Item Q, presented for City Council's consideration is a request to approve a property exchange agreement for a Bosch land donation. Former Mayor Bob Bosch passed away in 2010, and it was his desire to donate land along Hershey Avenue near Hauser Street to the City of Muscatine. A formal agreement has been drafted that allows for the donating of tracks 1, 3, and 4 to the city for future use. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved.
Bob, and a second.
Second.
Second, Osama. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. Item R, presented for City Council's consideration is a request to approve an agreement with the Louisa Regional Solid Waste Agency for household hazard waste services. Previously, the city entered into an agreement to provide services for the proper handling and disposal of household hazardous materials for Louisa County residents. This will extend the current agreement for another year from August 1st, 2013 through July 31st, 2014. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved.
Jeanette.
Second.
Second, Mark. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. Item S, presented for City Council's consideration is a request to approve an Iowa Department of Transportation annual agreement for the maintenance and repair of primary roads in municipalities. Tonight's action would be a supplement to the 5-year agreement approved in June 2011 and effective through June 30th, 2016. The Iowa Department of Transportation pays the city $1,050 per lane mile for the work, and the city contains 19.16 miles. The Iowa DOT agrees to pay the city $20,118. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved.
Scott?
Second.
Second, Osama. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. Okay. Motion carries 7-0. Item T, presented for City Council's consideration, is a request to authorize the issuance of a purchase order for refuse collection dumpsters. 2 bids were received, with the low bid from Gregory Container in the amount of $9,985. There is $10,000 budgeted for this purchase. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved.
Mark? Second?
Second, Your Honor.
Anyone? Bob? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. Item U, presented for City Council's consideration, is a request to authorize the issuance of a purchase order for the installation of 2 monitoring wells at the Muscatine County landfill. As part of the landfill's groundwater remediation plan with the Iowa Department of Natural Resources, 2 monitoring wells are required on county property. 3 bids were received, with the low bid from Team Services in the amount of $5,380. Funds are budgeted for this activity in the landfill operations budget. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved.
Bill? Second? Second,
Second.
Scott. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. Item V, presented for City Council's consideration, is a request to declare irrigation heads and controllers at the golf course as surplus property. The surplus property will be auctioned using the Public Surplus Auction Service, which has generated significant revenues. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved.
Bill?
Second.
Second, Tom. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. Item W, presented for City Council's consideration, is a request to approve the purchase of an ISCO portable flow meter for the water pollution control plant. The stormwater and collection and drainage departments need an open channel meter to measure stormwater flow through gravity sanitary sewers as a part of the inflow and infiltration detection mandated by the EPA. Staff is recommending the purchase of a demo model ISCO 2150 flow module, flow link software upgrade, and street level installation tools for $5,668.50 from GPM Sales and Service, the only regional ISCO dealer. Funding will come from delaying the budgeted purchase of a sampler for $5,000, with the remaining $668.50 coming from miscellaneous operating supplies in the stormwater budget. Is there a motion to approve the request as submitted?
So moved.
Scott? Second?
Second.
Second, Mark. Discussion, council.
The comment sounds like we're getting a good deal on it.
Anyone else? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries 7-0. Item 14, communications. I believe it is time for communications from council members, starting with Councilman Lorette.
Have nothing tonight, Mayor, thank you.
Phil?
Nothing at this time, Your Honor.
Scott?
Nothing, Mayor, thank you.
Sama?
I have nothing tonight, thank you.
Bob?
Your Honor, I'm very deeply moved that we said to a compromise to the MDA people. I'm sure they'll patiently wait and go through the motions just to see how much money can be donated from this event. But if that event does not come up to their expectations, I'm sure they're going to be back. Is there any way, Greg, that you could get or share with the rest of us in writing sometime this week why the city is not doing the MDA drive in the city itself, on the street versus somewhere else?
Council voted not to do it in the street. I'm not sure I follow.
But your indication, at least my indication I got from you, that it's illegal for us to do that. And I'm not so certain with this 516.3 that any organization can come to the city upon approval of the city council.
Right.
I'd just like to have that explained to me.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Jeanette?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Tom?
I have nothing. Thank you, Your Honor.
Greg?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
And Fran? Okay, and I have nothing. Any other business, council? Is there a motion to adjourn? Meeting's adjourned.
I can't believe you did it in an hour.
Hey, Fran,
Mayor?
give this